Welcome back to another episode of Chronicles of Tech. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chloe. Today, we're diving into a story that started in the least glamorous of places, a garage.
And no, we're not talking about your uncle's questionable car repair operation.
Seriously, though, we're peeling back the layers on the legendary startup that went from zero to one of the world's largest retailers, Amazon.
That's right. But before we jump in, I've got a question for you, Chloe, and our listeners. What do you think sparked the idea that would change how we shop forever? Hold that thought, because we'll reveal that kind of juicy insight by the end of today's episode.
Ooh, I love a good cliffhanger. But first, let's set the stage. Picture this. It's 1994, and the world is still trying to figure out what the internet even is.
Right? And here's a fun fact. Back then, most people thought online shopping was as plausible as flying cars. Yet, one man had a vision that would flip that notion upside down.
Would that man be a certain Jeff Bezos?
You got it. Before he was the internet's dad, Jeff Bezos was just a guy with a dream, a big OL idea, and a garage in Bellevue, Washington.
And you know what they say about garages? They're where legends are born, and maybe a few embarrassing high school projects.
Or, more commonly, a lot of junk. But in this case, it was a fully fledged startup prep zone. Bezos and a small team were fixing to launch their first website, which was originally supposed to sell books online.
Why books, of all things? You'd think he would have started with something a little more exciting, right? Like, I don't know, pizza?
Right? You'd think he'd go the pizza route or at least try selling something trendy. But Bezos saw the potential for an online bookstore to tap into a market that wasn't effectively being reached yet.
That's true. At that time, books were popular, but you had to physically trek to a store, and sometimes travel miles for that one book you were dying to read.
Exactly. This is where our guy Jeff saw the opportunity. There was no limit to the number of titles you could offer online compared to brick-and-mortar stores.
So, what happens next? Bezos puts a neon sign on his garage and calls it a day?
Not quite. He was working hard, coding away at this website that he originally named Cadabra. Can you believe it?
Cadabra? Sounds like a magic shop. I mean, I guess it was a kind of magic. But why did he change it?
Great question. He changed it to Amazon because he wanted something more exotic, like that massive river. The idea was to have a vast selection, just like the Amazon rainforest.
Clever. So, in July 1995, Amazon.com officially launched. Can you imagine what the first order looked like?
I imagine it was probably a book on how to manage a book-selling business. Or maybe a romance novel. Classic Bezos, right?
Totally. But here's where things really took off. They got a ton of publicity, and within 30 days, Amazon sold books to all 50 states and 45 countries.
And this is where we begin to see the hallmark of Amazon's growth, their relentless focus on customer experience. They implemented reviews and ratings, which made shopping more transparent and trustworthy.
People love to feel like they're part of a community. What's that saying? It takes a village, or something like that.
Maybe. But soon enough, Amazon went from books to a smorgasbord of products. By 1999, they were already selling CDs, DVDs, and even toys.
Wow, that's fast. I mean, we think of Amazon as this enormous behemoth today, but it really was just a little garage startup back then.
It grew at a staggering pace. And let's not forget Bezos' famous Day One mantra. He always believed in maintaining a startup mentality, no matter how big they got.
That's a really valuable lesson right there. We sometimes get too comfortable with success, right?
Exactly. So, fast forward a few years. Amazon went public in 1997, and here's a mind-boggling statistic. While initially, it was a $300 million market cap, today it's worth over $1 trillion.
That's honestly hard to fathom. From a garage to $1 trillion giant. But hey, why stop there when you can expand into cloud computing, streaming services, and groceries?
Oh, and who could forget Amazon Prime? Free 2-day shipping? It's like they cast a spell on us.
Yep, they turned us into bedridden hoarders.
All hail Bezos, ruler of our cozy couches.
Exactly. But back to the question I posed earlier, what sparked the idea that would eventually revolutionize how we shop?
Drumroll, please. It was the simple notion that the customer is always right. Bezos built Amazon around serving customers and providing options, and that's what made it thrive.
Brilliant. Sometimes it's about going back to the roots and focusing on what truly matters.
Absolutely. And just think, all of that innovation was born in a little garage, which just goes to show.
That your next big idea might just need some space and a little inspiration.
Amen to that. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Chronicles of Tech. Don't forget to subscribe and catch us next time as we uncover more tech stories that shaped our world.
And who knows? Maybe your garage will be next.
Until next time.